I don't come from like a wealthy family, very middle class from a small town in
I
Canada.
think our biggest picture goal we would have is we want to create 10,000 millionaires through online business.
Played hockey at a high level, and then I had concussions put into my hockey career. So I was a very good hockey player. So then I lost, that was my whole identity. The first 20 years of my life, I was just hockey, hockey, hockey. And then it was just gone, like that.
I think last time we talked, it would have been early 2023. We're doing about 300,000, 400,000 a month. So since then, we've 5x to over 2 million per month now. So on pace, 2025, we should do 30 to 40 million is the goal. Still growing as well.
Damn, man. Do you think you have kind of ambitions to try like literally be a billionaire?
Probably one day.
So because you showed up to better your future, we're going to donate a meal to someone in need, just like we've done tens of thousands of times through our charity partners. So you've already made a huge difference just by showing up. Now, as I told you when you registered, you have a free golden ticket valued at over $2,000. The only catch is that you have to stick around to find out how to activate it. So here's my promise to you today. No matter where you're at in life, today's workshop will give you a real way to put everything I teach you into action. Sound like a plan? Now, as the last few people pour into the room, let's have some fun with a pop quiz. And the purpose of answering these questions correct is not to get good grades. It is because your financial future may depend on what you learn in the next 60 minutes. So question number 1, true or false? AI is expected to replace 300 million jobs over the next few years. The answer is false. Many experts predict another 500 million more on top of that. And I do have an embarrassing confession. We may be responsible for some of those lost jobs, and we may or may not have built some pretty cool AI tools to help our clients see some life-changing results, and you may or may not see some of those clients on today's workshop. More on that in a bit. Question number 2, true or false? It is 1,000 times harder to sell a $10,000 product versus a $10 product. The answer is false. When you have the right AI tools to do the heavy lifting, selling $10,000 products can actually be cheaper and easier than selling $10 products. And today, I'll show you exactly how that works. Question number 3, true or false? All else being equal, it is better to sell one item for $1 million than it is to sell a million items for $1 each. Answer is true. More often than not, if you look at multimillionaires, they made their money not by selling millions of items for a tiny amount, but by selling a few items for a very large amount. And final question, is it possible to be a complete beginner and sell a single product for $30,000 or more? The answer is false. $30,000 is a good start, but check this out.
This guy just paid $71,000 over the phone, and
So more on that sale and others just like it in a bit. Now, before we get started, I want to show you my own store dashboard so you know you're learning from someone who's actually done this. So you can see I made my first ever sale on October 21st, 2021 for $14,000. So I remember seeing that notification on my phone and my hand was literally shaking because I couldn't believe what I was looking at. And in the next 39 days after that first sale, I made $177,000. And in the first year and a half, I crossed $4.7 million on this one store out of the many that I have. And today, I'll be showing you the exact system that I use to do that. Now, I know you're thinking, Brooke, if this is so good, then why on earth would you share it? And the truth is because my company has a mission that a lot of people think is crazy. And that is to create 10,000 millionaires with online business. And that's not just a tagline. That's what we think about when we wake up in the morning. Because nothing in the entire world makes us feel better than seeing messages like you see on the screen right now. Now, before I share any client success stories with you, I want to make something clear. I refuse to be one of those people who hides the bad stuff in the fine print. If you've ever bought an online program and you've been burned, I understand why you would be skeptical right now. So on this workshop, I want to give you the opposite experience. So to be upfront, I legally cannot guarantee you any income or financial results. Any success stories I show you are real, but they do not mean you will achieve the same results yourself. There's always a risk you could lose any money that you put into an online business, and your results depend on you. Now you might be wondering, okay, Brooke, that sounds good, but how does your average client do? So rather than hiding behind outlier case studies, I'm going to show you some real data along with its limitations. So we've surveyed over 3,000 people the last couple of years, and out of the 500 plus responses, the average monthly revenue is $5,633. And to clarify, this is revenue. We don't know how much our clients pay themselves from their businesses, and that includes people who never took any action at all, which obviously brings that number down. Now again, not everyone completed the survey, and it could be the case that the people with better results were more likely to complete it. And I'm telling you this because I believe in transparency. But the data also clearly shows us that those who put in more effort see way higher results. So those who close just 2 suppliers average $51,000 in monthly revenue. 10 suppliers goes up to $96,000. So we'll get into what suppliers are and how you can work with them in a few minutes. For now, it's important that you know results vary. So some clients like Ryan see exceptional results. He hit $10 million revenue in his first 11 months, while many others see below average results as well. And while I am very proud of our average results, there's something I'm even more proud of. And that is over 2,000 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. So you know Trustpilot, and you know that this is borderline impossible. So the bottom line is this. I'm so confident in our system. We offer our clients a win your money back guarantee, where if they meet simple requirements, then they can win every penny back plus even more. We'll cover how that works a bit later on. Now, I bet you're here today for one of the following reasons. Maybe you spent 20, 30, even 40 years doing everything right, long hours, promotions, putting money in your 401k, and you still don't have the freedom to show for it. Maybe you've been watching the years slip by, working on someone else's schedule, while the moments that truly matter keep getting pushed to the side. And if you're honest with yourself, all you really want is to wake up knowing your family's taken care of and your future secure, and to finally live life on your own terms without having to grind another 20 years to get there. But let's address the elephant in the room. AI is coming for your job. It is collecting the scalps of hundreds of millions of honorable occupations. And given this reality, the pressure and the urgency for you to make the right decisions has increased to a level never seen before in history. Home prices, groceries, utilities, the cost of everything is rising twice as fast as the average salary. An honorable job used to be enough to provide for a family and retire, but the math just doesn't make sense anymore. And the harsh truth is, it's only going to get way worse. So today, I'm going to help you flip the script so you can learn how to use AI to your advantage instead of being replaced by it. Now, before we go any deeper, my name is Brooklyn. Just a few years ago, I was living in a tiny, cold Canadian town with $180,000 in law school debt. I was 25 years old, living in my parents' basement because I couldn't afford my own rent. I remember lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how I could ever provide for a family, wondering how I would ever escape the rat race. Now, by the grace of God, I did escape, though it was anything but smooth. That's why I spent thousands of dollars on dropshipping courses, building 13 stores selling cheap products from China like dog leashes, dish scrubbers, and fake watches, but they all failed. And if you've had a similar experience where you spent money or you put in effort on something and didn't see results, my failures taught me a very important lesson. The reason I failed had nothing to do with me. It was because I was putting my effort into the wrong business model. Because as soon as I found the right business model, the one I'll be sharing with you today, everything in my life changed very quickly. So I began sharing my story online and people instantly resonated. So much so, within a remarkably short period of time, I grew to over 500,000 followers. So today, my business is generating around $50 million a year. I've been able to retire my mom, my wife. I live in a beautiful penthouse. I get to take vacations that I only used to see on Instagram. I married my wife with the wedding we always talked about but never thought we could afford. We now have a beautiful son and we have number 2 on the way now. And overall, my life feels like a dream. And the best part, it hasn't just changed my life. Jack and Joel were ready to quit. After failing for years with dropshipping, they felt stupid and like online business just wasn't for them. Then they stumbled on the same model that I'm about to share with you today, and shortly after, they hit $20,000 revenue in a week. And Jack and Joel are two of thousands. Now, there's something very interesting happening in the world right now. While most people feel more burned out than ever, debts increasing, getting crushed by inflation, there's a small percentage who are accumulating more wealth than ever before in history. And if you were to visit the Maldives like I did, or spend a day or two in Lake Como next to George Clooney's villa, or step foot in Dubai, then you too would see firsthand that the wealthy are spending more than ever. Now, previously, the only way you could sell to this wealthy market would have been by having an in-person shop in Milan or New York City. But now you can access these same wealthy clients that used to be off limits to you. So you can see Cabrin, who used to be a personal trainer struggling to make a few $1,000s per month. He found the system, and while it's definitely not typical, it shows you what's possible. Cabrin sold a single item for $34,000, and then another for over $40,000, and then one for over $100,000. Now, would you like to know the best part about all of this? Nobody I've showed you so far today had access to our latest AI tools because they have not existed until right now. So can you imagine the advantage that you would give yourself now that they do exist? You could take this luxury market, you could add on AI tools to automate parts of the process that used to have to be done manually. And you can implement the same system with less time and effort than ever before in history. Just like Austin, a former landscaper who built a $300,000 business, and in his own words, the business now runs without needing him every single day. Listen, my friend, you are in the middle of a profit storm. You have cutting-edge AI technology with an emerging market that almost nobody is targeting with virtually zero competition, which is why I can show you more client success stories than virtually any other program on the planet. So imagine you could take this AI system, which makes selling these items far simpler than you can imagine, and you could offer items like this for yourself. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. If you made one sale, or even a fraction as much as you see on the screen right now, let's say for a few $1,000s in revenue, then would that change your life? My guess is that it would change your belief system forever. So I want you to put in the chat what selling an item for thousands of dollars would do for you. Would you finally book that trip you've been promising your family? Or would you start chipping away at that debt that's been following you for a decade? Or finally actually get some time back to spend with your family? And that's just one order. What if you had 2, or 4, or 10, or hundreds? And if you want to build real wealth, maybe one day you even want thousands. But all it takes to change your mindset forever is one. Now, the one order away method that I'm about to share with you is very simple. On the surface, you just select the right product, source it from a supplier, showcase the product on a showroom, and scale your store. Now, simple does not mean easy. The devil's in the details, of course. Before I unveil the system to you, let me address some thoughts that might be running through your head. Maybe you're wondering if you can do this with no prior experience. The answer is yes. I want you to meet Nick here.
I'm Nick. I'm in the gas and oil industry, and I joined the e-com industry with absolutely no experience.
And Nick still achieved a top 1% result and built over $75,000 revenue in a month. Maybe you're wondering if you're going to have to invest in inventory and stock products in a warehouse. The answer is you will never have to pay a dime for inventory or warehousing. You will never have to see or touch a product. You never have to worry about shipping. Yet you can still offer products for thousands of dollars as you run your business from anywhere in the world. Maybe you're wondering if you're going to need to quit your job to do this. The answer is no. You can do this on the side to start, like Chelsea, who's a mother of 5 and sold an item for $2,000. And if you're retired like Rodney, then this works as a side income that you can build your life around as well. Now, these are important questions, and we're going to cover them all today. But here are the questions that you should be asking. Is it possible for a complete beginner to make $157,000 on one order? The answer to that is yes, it is possible, and we'll cover how in just a minute. Next, is it possible to sell luxury products from some of the top brands in the world and to siphon off some of the insane amounts of money they're printing without actually being a big brand yourself? The answer to that again is yes. And finally, if I could show you a simple, step-by-step system that thousands of people have already followed, with a clear path and support at every step, then would you commit to me, to yourself, to your family, and everyone else that you would give this your best shot? Because if you say no to that, then I can't help you. But if you say yes to that, then I can show you the simplest and fastest path to build a real online income. So for those who said yes, let's get into step number 1, which is selecting a product where a few sales per month can potentially match what many people earn at their job. So your product should meet 2 main criteria. First, it should cost at least $1,000. Now I know you're thinking, how on earth am I going to offer items for thousands of dollars as a beginner? Don't worry, I'm going to cover it step by step. Here's an example for you. Think about the last time you walked into a store and bought something expensive. Let's say a $2,000 TV at Best Buy. When you handed over your credit card, you weren't thinking, whoa, I love my Best Buy TV. You were thinking, I love Samsung, or whatever brand you were buying. So Best Buy is just where you happen to find it. And Best Buy made a very healthy margin on that sale, just for connecting you with Samsung. But that's exactly what we're doing here. We match wealthy buyers with luxury brands they already trust. So just because you don't have a $5,000 hot tub in your backyard, or an $8,000 sauna in your basement, or a $3,000 pizza oven on your patio, or a $15,000 home gym in your garage, does not mean you can't make money offering products like this. So remember Jack and Joel, I showed you them a bit earlier. And while they're a non-typical result, they crossed $200,000 in revenue in their 4th month when they started offering outdoor living products. So is it not crystal clear the advantage you get when selling these expensive products? And remember, if you stick around to the end of the workshop, I'll show you how to activate your $2,000 golden ticket, which makes finding these expensive items a whole lot easier. Now, here's why offering items like aquariums, golf simulators, and hole punch tubs is so important. You could spam the internet with fidget spinners selling junk that's just going to end up in a landfill next week, where if you're lucky, you might make $1 every time you sell one, which means to make $2,000, you would need to sell 2,000 fidget spinners. So imagine you had an $8,000 sauna, and every time someone bought one, you earned a $2,000 commission. And instead of crossing 2,000 orders to 2,000 customers, you would have one order to one customer and make the same amount. Before you think, yeah, but how many people are actually shopping for saunas online? There are over 150,000 people searching saunas on Google every month. So the stream of buyers already exists. You just need to learn how to tap into it. So to pick a winning product, step number one is to make sure the price is over $1,000. So here's how you do that. You go to Google Shopping, you type the product in, you go to the left where it says price, sort by over $1,000, and then you check if the product is regularly sold for over that price point, which you can see that massage chairs, pool cleaners, and hyperbaric chambers all are. Now, it's not a perfect world. You might need to make a judgment call and track this in a sheet. It takes a few minutes of time and some common sense. Overall, though, it's very simple. Now, if you're wondering, Brooke, if this is so simple, won't everyone just sell the same products? Listen. There are over 100,000 luxury brands in the US alone across thousands of product categories. Our entire client base hasn't even touched 3% of what's available, and we've barely made a dent. So let me ask, wouldn't it be worth putting in a few minutes of effort to find a winning product that could change your life? Because if you're willing to do that, then you have a potential shot to make sales just like you see on the screen right now. Now, I want you to imagine you head up to the North Pole with a bag of ice. Ice is everywhere, so it's going to be pretty much impossible to sell it, right? But imagine you took the same bag of ice and went to the desert, and you found a group of people who haven't seen water in 3 days. Imagine how much easier it would be to sell the same bag of ice. Now, we want to sell products that are like ice in the desert, which is why the second criteria is that the product should have at least 10,000 monthly searches. Now, you might be wondering, what does 10,000 monthly searches mean, and how can I find it out? Simple. It just means there are at least 10,000 people searching for the product online every month. So you can use this tool here, you put the product name, and it tells you the number. So saunas have over 100,000. Would you sell it? Yes. Baseball pitching machines have under 10,000. Would you sell it? No. Gazebos over 100,000. Yes. It takes a bit of manual effort, but it's pretty straightforward. Now, if I was trying to give you the highest possible chance of success, I would not let you rely on free tools like this. And that's why I built a software that does all the work for you. It asks you a few simple questions, you press a button, and you get delivered a full list of personalized winning products. So I built this AI tool because I was sick of watching clients spend days on something that should take seconds. And that obsession with their client experience is why we have over 2,000 5-star Trustpilot reviews with average client results like this. Now, regardless of whether you find the information using free tools or AI tools, the end result is the same. If you can find products that cost over $1,000 with 10,000 monthly searches, then you will find winning products. So could you give a minute or two of time to find a $1,000 plus product like Josh, who's working 50 hours a week with a newborn baby and still hit a top 1% result as he built a $200,000 revenue business? Because when you sell products like 3D printers, telescopes, home workout equipment, you are following the same system as Matt, James, and Mateo with $60,000 revenue his first month, which is of course a non-typical result. And no, you don't need to be an expert on the product you sell right away. Brands provide you all the information, so your only job is to connect the buyer with the brand. So now you've selected a product, you need a supplier to source it from. So rather than creating your own product from scratch, we sell products from existing brands. So you can see this store, Northern Saunas, is selling products from a brand called Arum. So for example, the customer pays Northern Saunas $10,000 for the sauna, and Northern Saunas pays Arum $7,000. And Northern Saunas keeps the difference, which in this example is $3,000. And Arum handles the warehousing, shipping, returns, and everything else. So you're never paying money out of pocket or using your own money to fulfill an order. You use the customer's money to pay the supplier, they ship the order, and then you keep the difference, which can often be thousands of dollars per sale, just like UV who made 2 insane top 1% sales within the same week when he sold 2 items for $77,000 and $21,000 to the same customer. So remember my first ever sale for $14,000? I was a complete beginner with no experience, so there's no reason anyone should trust me with that kind of money. But someone did. So why is that? Simple. Because I had partnered with Clearlight Saunas, which is an infrared sauna brand from California that's been around since 1997. The customer didn't have to trust me, they trusted Clearlight. And here's what most people don't realize. Brands like Clearlight often don't even sell directly to customers. They manufacture products, and then they rely on retailers to sell them. And that is exactly what we become. Think of the Samsung example. Samsung makes the TV, but you buy it at Best Buy or Costco. Those are retailers. Now, in today's world, these luxury brands need the same thing, but online. And that is why one single partnership with Clearlight made me over $2.293 million in revenue. So now that you understand the power of working with these brands, would you like to know how to actually find them? Here's how. First, you go to Google Shopping, you type the product name in, you scroll to the left where it says stores, and then you find stores with the product type in the title, just like this where it says grill. Then you go to each website, you find where it says brands or vendors in the menu, and you make a list of all the brands in the Google Sheet. Now don't worry about competing with other stores. Retailers want their products on a bunch of online stores. And the way you beat these other stores is by using AI tools that they don't have, which I'll show you in just a minute. Now again, finding suppliers is pretty simple, but it's still a bottleneck for a lot of people. So because of my 10,000 millionaire goal, I built this software called Supplier HQ that slashes your workload by over 90%. So imagine you're starting a fireplace store, and now with the click of a button, you get instant access to all the fireplace suppliers. Wouldn't this tool be an insane advantage for you if you figured out how to get your hands on it? Now remember, many of our clients have done this manually, so it doesn't matter if you find suppliers using the tool or the manual way. You can offer products like loaders, e-bikes, and even robotic vacuums from some of the top brands in the world. And to illustrate just how powerful working with these brands is, remember Cabrin, the personal trainer? Check out this clip here.
And we ended up signing a vendor agreement for, essentially they needed to replace multiple of their hotels for the product that we're selling. And so we've signed a vendor agreement for all their locations. Just for anyone that isn't aware, it's all on the Strip in Vegas. So we got another hotel that we sent all of our products to, got the payment wire transferred, and I think after everything was settled, roughly like 168,000.
So yes, a crazy top 1% result, but the fact that that is even possible is insane, is it not? And it's only possible because the hotel trusted the brand Cabrin had partnered with, and because of that partnership, the hotel trusted him enough to wire him $157,000. So now that you know how to find suppliers, would you like to know how to actually partner with them and sell their products? So the number one most self-sabotaging behavior I see that costs people life-changing profits is when they say things like, why would a high-end luxury brand let me sell their stuff? So these brands have spent their lives building their brand, perfecting their product, and becoming well-known. They don't have time to learn AI and digital marketing. They need someone to set up an online storefront and drive customers to it. That's it. So our system shows you how to set up a store, and we provide our clients AI tools to do a bunch of the heavy lifting. So your job is simply be the bridge between their product and the customers online. So without you, their products sit in a warehouse gathering dust, but with you and the right AI tools, that inventory can turn into profit for them. But here's what makes this exciting. You only need one supplier, and I'm living proof. I'm telling you, there's a supplier who would happily pay a person like you who helped them bring in sales. Just like Taylor here, who got a top result when he made his salary and profit in one weekend. The problem is, suppliers don't know you exist yet. So how do you let them know you exist? We give you an app, you click a button, and you can automatically import products directly onto your website. You help the supplier make sales, they handle the order process, and they pay you for every order. Now, not every supplier in the world is on the app. Others require an email or an application form. Because of our 10,000 millionaire goal, we give you tested copy and paste scripts for this. So these scripts are an example of something we give our clients, the ones that we have a win your money back guarantee for. Regardless, so the point is clear. You only need one supplier to change your life. So how do you get that supplier? You either use the app or you do so some other way using your own creativity. No matter how you do it, you just need to get that first supplier to build momentum. Because ask yourself, if sending an email could potentially open the door to thousands of dollars in commissions, then wouldn't it be worth getting that first supplier? And if you think you can't do it, I want to introduce you to Samuel. Samuel lives in Nigeria. English is his second language. The average salary in Nigeria is $200 per month. Most people would say the odds are stacked against him. Yet here he is, closing deals with luxury brands for $2,400 on his first deal. So how do you do it? He followed the system step by step. So if your results were even the average, that would be damn good, wouldn't it? So it is a small commitment to get that first supplier, not a miracle performing commitment, a tiny commitment that you can achieve if you truly want change. So can you do that for me? And because I'm so committed to helping you get that supplier, the golden ticket will help you with exactly this, which I will show you how to activate when you stick around to the end of the workshop. So now that you know how to select a winning product and source suppliers, next you need a place to showcase your product. And I call that a virtual showroom. Think about it. If you're spending $10,000 on a sauna, you're not going to Walmart. Historically, you would go to a high-end showroom specializing in saunas. Though until recently, owning a showroom was a nightmare. You needed $100,000 for rent, another $100,000 for inventory, expensive employees, and you were trapped selling to people within your own local zip code. Though now, AI and technology have flipped the script because with a virtual showroom, you pay zero rent, you hold zero inventory, and you have no employees. And instead of selling to people in your local zip code, you can sell to hundreds of millions of people across the entire country. So is that not absolutely amazing? Now, I know what you're thinking. Building a website used to take weeks of time and cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. But now, new AI tools let you paste a screenshot of a proven website that's already generating millions of dollars, and AI will use it to build a replica of your own. And these aren't generic looking sites. So this is a store here that looks exactly like what we help you build, where customers are spending $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on a single product. So our clients often build their showrooms in under an hour using our templates and our AI tools. And we created these templates because every hour our clients save on setup is an hour they can spend on making sales. So here's what I've learned after working with thousands of clients. The ones who spend 3 weeks on picking the perfect shade of blue for their logo take months to launch, while the ones who pick something that looks good and get live always see the fastest results. So our templates already look premium, so take all your time and energy and focus it on products and suppliers. Now, a showroom is necessary, but alone, it's not enough. It's the same reason why a restaurant with the best food in the world will go broke if nobody knows it exists. So you need to get eyeballs on your website. And here's the good news. Remember those 130,000 people searching for saunas every month? The demand is already there. You don't have to create demand, you just have to tap into it. So let me ask you, would you be comfortable taking a website that's 90% complete and adding the last 10% using AI tools that do pretty much all the work for you? So Brandon here set up a showroom and made a $3,000 sale on his way to work. Maya made an $8,000 sale, and you can see what she says about working with us here. James built to $100,000 in revenue. And when you combine your showroom with the AI tools that we've been developing, you have the biggest shortcut in online business. Now, everything I've shown you so far, products, suppliers, and your showroom, that's your foundation. But scale is where the money's made. So pay close attention. Now, the reason most people fail is because they try and sell cheap products from China to complete strangers. So do you see the problem with this? That's why I do the opposite. I sell expensive products to wealthy people who already want to buy them. Now, we do show our clients 10 different ways to make sales, many of which are free, though I can't cover them all today. Fundamentally, you need to get eyeballs on your website, and the fastest way is through advertising, because advertising done right means putting $1 in and getting a whole lot more back out. Now, here's what makes this different from anything that you've tried before. Most people fail with advertising because they're selling cheap products with tiny profit margins. So if you're selling a $30 product and you're making $10 profit, you have almost no room for error. But remember, we're not selling $30 products, and before you ask, no, you don't need thousands of dollars to start selling high-ticket products. Nard here spent $15 and sold a $9,000 product. It's definitely not typical, but it shows you what the math can look like on the high end with these high-ticket items. So most of our clients start with between $10 and $20 a day in ads and scale up as they make sales. So here's the crazy reality. It costs roughly the same amount of money to get attention for a $30 item as it does for a $50,000 item. Believe it or not, it often costs more to sell cheap stuff. Just look at this hair loss shampoo here for $26. It costs around $1.60 to get someone to click your ad. But if you're selling this $72,000 hyperreact chamber, it only costs $1.10. The reason is simple. The brain naturally tunes out common things. So if you're walking in the forest, you don't stop and stare at every single leaf. But if you see a tiger, then you're going to pay attention. So these unique high-ticket items are like tigers. So let's run some example numbers. And to be clear, this is just an illustration, not what I'm saying you're going to make, okay? So let's say you have an $8,000 sauna where you profit $2,000 per order. You pay $2 per click, and let's say only 1 out of 100 people who clicks buys. That means you spent $200 to make $2,000 in profit, meaning your net profit is $1,800 after ad costs. Now compare that to the guy selling $30 fidget spinners making $10 profit. If he spent $200, he would have lost $190. So one person is up $1,800 and the other is down $190. That is the power of selling high ticket products, where a huge profit margin can absorb a bunch of mistakes. Now, of course, we're not going to make a bunch of errors because we're laser-like with our targeting, though even if you start out rough, you can be terrible at ads and still do very well. Now, most people run ads to everyone, but we only run ads to buyers with their card in hand, ready to pay us. So how do we find these people? Simple. When someone types in Morozco Cold Plunge into Google, which is a specific brand, they're not searching. They've already done their research and know exactly what brand they want. So that's a buyer with their card in hand. So there are 128,000 people searching for cold plunge tubs every month. Though there is also 1,600 specifically looking for Morozco Cold Plunge. So those 1,600 aren't comparison shopping. They've already decided and they just need a store to buy from. And that store can be you. Now here's the thought exercise. Again, it's hypothetical, not a guarantee. If you captured even 1% of those 1,600 Morozco searchers, then that would be 16 sales a month at $20,000 each, equaling over $320,000. So your actual results depend on many different things, but this shows how even a tiny slice of high intent traffic can be very significant with these expensive products. And that's just one supplier. Imagine adding a second, a third, or a fourth out of the 150 cold point suppliers that we have in our tool, each with their own pool of buyers searching with their credit card in hand. So can you see how fast this starts to compound? So this is the math that makes me believe 10,000 millionaires isn't crazy. And here's where the real magic happens. After your first few sales, Google's AI starts doing your job for you. It learns who your buyers are, their gender, their age, their location, income, interests. Then it goes hunting for more people just like them. So your first sale is the hardest, and every sale after that gets easier as you get more data. So the more you sell, the smarter Google gets without you having to lift a finger. And that's how clients like Trigvi are seeing life-changing results, and why he's a top 1% result. He made $20,000 the first day he launched, and I'll let him tell you that for himself.
I started running ads on Monday. I spent $20 on Monday and I got 20K sales.
So of course, I can't guarantee results like that, but even a tiny fraction of that would change most people's lives. And you can see what happens to the average result when you get just 2 suppliers. So who here is committed to getting just 2 suppliers? 2, because if you are, right now is the time to start. So now you have the complete picture. The question isn't whether this works, it's what you are going to do about it. So I've been in business for a long time. I've seen dropshipping, I've seen Amazon, crypto. Nothing comes close to what I just showed you that has such high upside for such little risk. And on this very workshop, I've pulled back the curtain on the exact strategy responsible for over $50 million in documented client sales. AI is replacing hundreds of millions of jobs. The tiny window to get in early is open right now. You now understand that it is the best time in history to sell high-ticket products because technology and AI have made it easier than ever before. I showed you how to select products that cost over $1,000 with real demand, like this and this and this and this, just like Vince, Isaiah, and Cade. I showed you how to source these products from million-dollar suppliers and make high-ticket sales from day number 1 by partnering with brands customers already know and trust, like UV, Matt, and Cabrin. I showed you how to build a virtual showroom using AI and showcase your products to hundreds of millions of buyers with barely any investment. And I showed you how to scale using the money printer method, targeting card-in-hand buyers and letting Google's AI work its magic and improve your results automatically over time so you can make a lot more back than you put in, like Nick, Nart, and Trigvi. Now, we have covered a lot of information here today. Before we continue though, let's check in with some questions. So picture yourself using our AI product finder to select a winning product in 90 seconds. Does that excite you? And do you realize how even as a beginner, you can list products on your own virtual showroom for thousands of dollars and make sales without ever seeing or touching an item? Now that you understand how this works, do you realize the massive advantage that people who use this system have over everyone else? And you should know, we still haven't scratched the surface of our client success stories. Jordan here made $130,000 from one customer. Kristen hit $20,000 in a month. Kyle hit $48,000 his second month. Now I could go on all day showing you thousands more exactly like this. And while many of these are non-typical results, these results are possible for regular people because they followed a proven system. But here's an important question. Do all these results mean that you can do this too? And here's the answer. Probably not, at least not yet. And I say that with love. I say that because I've seen it happen 1,000 times. Someone learns an incredible strategy, they get excited, they tell themselves they're going to take action, and then life gets in the way. Not because they're lazy or not because they're not smart enough, because knowing a strategy and having the system to execute on it are 2 completely different things. So right now, you don't have AI finding your products for you. You don't have our supplier database. You don't have AI building your showroom. You don't have experienced coaches reviewing everything you do. And without those things, what I showed you is just a treasure map, but you have no shovel. You can see where the gold is. You just have no path to get there. And that right there is the only difference between you and every other person I've shown you on this workshop so far. These people had the same doubts that you have. Many tried other things and failed. They aren't any smarter. They don't work any harder. They had the system, the tools, and the support to execute that you don't have yet. That is the difference. Now, I want you to picture something. It's 6 months from today. You followed the system. You put in the work. You have a live showroom with real products. What would it feel like to check your bank account and not get that pit in your stomach? What would it mean to buy something expensive without doing mental math in your head first? To stop worrying about whether your savings will last? What would it mean to look at your family and to know their future is taken care of? Picture sitting at breakfast with your family and having your phone buzz and seeing a sale notification. So your marketing is set up, your store is live, and a buyer found exactly what they're looking for. Now, I can't promise you that's how it's going to play out. But what I can tell you is that thousands of people in our program have experienced some version of that exact moment. And every single one of them was sitting exactly where you are right now before it happened. So imagine finally having breathing room and real options in life, in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you built something real. That's what's on the table. Not guaranteed, but earned through a proven system with $50 million in documented results behind it. So ask yourself honestly, if a version of your life like that was waiting for you 6 months from now, and you could travel back to this moment, how much would you invest to give yourself a chance at that life? Would you not say yes at almost any number? So that's not a fantasy. That's the reality for many people exactly like you. And the gap between where you are in that life isn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It's having access to the right system and the right support. Now, the chance to get into AI early is getting smaller and smaller every week. You already know that AI is disrupting hundreds of millions of jobs. Now, what you may not know is that AI is creating more millionaires than anything else in history. So the question isn't whether AI will change the world, it already has. The question is what side of that change you want to be on. Now, thousands of our clients have already answered that question for themselves, and you can see on our Trustpilot page what they thought of that decision. And collectively, these clients have reported over $50 million in documented sales. And $50 million is just what's being reported. The real number, in my opinion, is 3 to 4 times higher than that. And each one of our clients plugged themselves in to our system in our network, and they have done exactly what you want to do. So our top clients see results like nothing else on the internet. Ryan hit $10 million in his first year. Cabrin hit millions of dollars and hit $157,000 on one order. Jack and Joel hit $3 million in 18 months. Now, would you like to see exactly what this system looks like? Because now that you know this exists, your eyes are open. And the way I see it, you've got 3 options. Option 1, you leave this workshop and do nothing. You tell yourself it's all fake and it could never be real, and you do nothing. And in 6 months from now, nothing has changed other than you're 6 months older with the same problems. And if that's what you want to do, then you're definitely not a fit for the inner circle. Option 2, you can try and figure this out all on your own. Some people can piece together some YouTube videos and make some progress with no guidance, though they usually end up burning through money on avoidable mistakes and wasting thousands of dollars and months of time. Or option number 3, you plug into the same system as everyone I've showed you today. You skip the guesswork. You compress your learning curve because you're following the same system that thousands of people before you have already followed. The same one responsible for over $50 million in client results. Of course, I'm biased towards option 3. The real question though is what path makes sense for you right now. And I should tell you something else. Everyone I've shown you today, Nick, Kelly, Isaiah, Trigby, Kyle, every single one of them had access to the previous version of the program. And we have now taken what was the best blueprint in the world, and we've integrated AI into every single step. So we have now rebuilt the entire program, and every single part is powered by AI that did not exist until right now. So this version of the program that I'm about to show you is way more powerful than the one that already produced $50 million in documented results. So it is with great honor that I unveil to you the High Ticket AI Accelerator, secrets to using AI to make high ticket sales online. And before I reveal exactly what you get, let me make crystal clear what we help you do. So we help you set up a virtual showroom that showcases high ticket products for thousands of dollars that you never see or touch yourself. Now, when a customer places an order, you send it to your supplier and you keep the profit margin, which is usually between 20 and 50%. So our AI can help you with the store setup, finding your products, suppliers, marketing. So every single thing that I'm about to share with you is meant to make one or more of these steps faster, easier, or more profitable for you. And I need to be upfront about something else. We are only accepting 97 new members this enrollment period. That is a hard cap, and it's not some fake number, and I want to explain why. So first is our AI software suite. So this is proprietary technology that our engineering team is working on in real time. And given that much of this is still in development, we can't feed too many users onto it at once. Second is coaching. Our mentorship calls are kept very small on purpose, so each client gets direct, personalized feedback. So we cap enrollment to protect that experience. So once the 97 spots fill up, enrollment closes until we have the bandwidth to take on more people. And these 97 spots fill on a first come, first serve basis. So if you go to the order page and it looks like this, it means enrollment is closed until we can take on more people. And each of these 97 spots comes with a win your money back guarantee, where if you meet some basic requirements, you can win your entire investment back plus even more. And they also come with 6 mind-blowing bonuses worth tens of thousands of dollars in value. And even better, if you're one of the first 30 of the 97, you'll have an extra special chance to get another bonus as well. So here's what you get if you lock in one of the fortunate 97 spots. And remember, I've saved the best part for last. First, you get instant access to the flagship high-ticket e-commerce program. So picture this. You log into your private dashboard. You start following a crystal clear roadmap. Cutting-edge AI strategies are laid out step by step. Action-driven checklists remove all the guesswork. It feels like a GPS blasting you forward at lightning speed as AI does the heavy lifting. All you have to do is hit play, follow the videos, and you'll be on the fast track to your first ever high ticket sale. And in addition, you get 6 months access to all upcoming updates. And if this was the only thing you got, would you not agree that you're now ahead of 99% of people stuck in the online business maze without a map? And because of how amazing this is, we back it with a win your money back guarantee, which I'll explain in just a minute. Next, what do the greatest performers in history have? They have coaching. So if the best in the world have coaching and you want the best results for you and your family, does it not make sense for you to have coaching as well? Introducing the Inner Circle Mentorship Program, where you instantly unlock private calls with experienced entrepreneurs in every time zone. So you breeze through issues as you learn by osmosis. So every tip, trick, and strategy that these coaches have perfected flows into your brain so you can apply them to your own business. Now, world-class coaching is not free. So I pay my team around $600,000 a month to help me accomplish my goal of creating 10,000 millionaires. So you can see right here, this is our payroll last month, nearly $600,000. And you get access to these coaches as part of your membership. And our coaches are also going to help you with something else that you're going to love, which we'll talk about in a second. So ask yourself, what would your life be like if you had the best coaches on the planet, helping you in the areas where you need it the most? Well, now you do. So the value here is already off the charts, but remember, it's not even close to the best part, which I've saved for last. Now, I'm sure you've heard the phrase that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So if you want to be a millionaire, simple, surround yourself with millionaires. So as one of the fortunate 97 who joined today, you get exclusive access to our high-ticket roundtable community, where you unlock an exclusive online network to forge powerful connections with elite store owners and highly different peers. We're all united in leveraging AI to build life-changing businesses. So here, you get instant solutions as you progress at a rampant pace towards your goals. Everyone who succeeds at the highest level has the right community supporting them. And even if you could succeed on your own, a community multiplies your success tenfold. And remember, there is a guarantee coming that will blow your mind. Fourth, you get our golden stamp product approval. So our modules and AI tools show you how to select the winning product with AI, and that's excellent. But wouldn't it be nice if we just gave you winning products? So we do that, though that's not all we do. Remember a minute ago I told you that our coaches are going to help you with something else you love? Well, you get to submit your product ideas to our elite team. And our coaches will personally verify your winning product. They'll advise you what's best and tell you which product gets the golden stamp of approval. So we remove all the guesswork and help ensure your first store is a mind-blowing success. So now that you have an army of experts looking over your shoulder, making sure you stay on the right path, can you see how this could be the difference between your past failures and your current and future success? Of course you can. Now, everything I've shown you so far, the program, the coaching, community, product approval, that foundation is 10 times more valuable than anything else you'll find online. Though imagine if this final component was able to double, triple, or even 10x the value of them all. Would accessing it not make it a no-brainer for you to join us as one of the 97 lucky people who get access to the program that I'm about to share with you in just a minute? Well, picture yourself as an investor. Imagine Warren Buffett became your new best friend. So everywhere you went, he followed you. Every time you looked at stocks, he told you what to buy. Anytime you had an idea, he said, hold on, let me have a look. How long until you're making serious money? Not very long. Well, that is exactly what we built, but for online business. So are you ready to find out what the final piece is? So if you are fast enough to be one of the 97 today, you get the biggest advantage in online business, which is exclusive access to our entire suite of AI agents. Now, let me be very clear about what this is and what it is not. So in 2026, people slap AI on everything. Someone takes some basic ChatGPT prompts and calls it a $10,000 software. So this is the opposite of that. So our AI agents are built on proprietary data, over $50 million in real transactions, real products that have sold, real ads that have converted, real supplier relationships, real emails that have created repeat buyers, thousands of data points that no public tool has, because none of this data exists on the internet. It exists inside of our network and nowhere else. So when our AI agent recommends a product, it's not pulling it from some generic database. It's analyzing against the same patterns that have generated $50 million in sales and picking the ones that will do the best for you based on the information that you give us. It knows the best profit margins, the best price points that convert, which categories are trending up. So here's what this looks like in practice. Instead of spending hours scrolling trying to guess what products might work, our AI product agent analyzes thousands of products across dozens of metrics: profit margin, competition, demand, suppliers. It surfaces the top products personalized for you in a minute or two and tells you exactly why each one is a great option. Next, instead of staring at a blank store, we give you AI tools that can help build your entire website, write your product descriptions, and create a killer offer that beats your competitors, all based on proven templates from our highest converting clients. On the marketing side, instead of guessing which ads will work, our AI studies the exact target market for your product and generates you the top ad creatives and email types specifically for your product. So rather than starting from zero, you are starting from what's already proven to work. And it doesn't stop there. We have over 10 specialized AI agents, and we're building more every month, each one handling a different part of your business, from your products, website, suppliers, so you can accomplish in seconds what used to take hours. So these agents don't sleep, they don't complain, they don't take days off. So imagine never having to wonder, am I doing this right? Because you have AI tools trained on my brain handling it for you. Well, now you do. So if you were to hire me personally, I cost $5,000 an hour for consulting, which is over $100,000 for a single day. But you don't just get me for a day. You're getting unlimited access to AI trained on everything I know, every strategy, every framework, every lesson, from generating over $50 million online in my own businesses as well, plus over $50 million more for my clients. And you get unlimited access to them as part of your membership. So tell me, what do you choose? Trying to guess your way forward, or having specialized AI tools informed by $50 million in real client data guide every decision you make? And remember, only 97 people will get access to all this with a win your money back guarantee. And if you're one of the first 30, you can get something else as well. Now, as you can see, we have made your success as simple as possible. I'm going to ask you something important. What is the true value of a system this powerful? Well, in the right hands, this program is worth millions. Look at Ryan, who's a top client of ours. He went from beginner to hitting over $2 million revenue in a month in under a year. So if Ryan had to invest 1 month of revenue and then got to keep his store for hundreds of months after, would it not be a steal? And Ryan's not alone. Jack and Joel, $3 million. Bryn's made millions. Chris has made millions. Ashton's made millions. And these are just a glimpse. So in the right hands, this program is worth over $1 million. Now, naturally, we don't charge $1 million for this, even though we should. So if we don't charge $1 million, what if instead we charge a fraction of one single high ticket order? Because once you learn the method, you can use it to make thousands of orders. So if it costs you the fraction of one, then wouldn't $50,000 be a steal? And remember, we still haven't covered the win your money back guarantee or the special bonus for the first 30. Now, again, we don't charge $50,000 for this, even though if we did, it would be the deal of a lifetime. Now, before I tell you what the investment is, I want to come back to something I promised at the very beginning of the workshop, and that is your golden ticket. So every single person here today has a golden ticket, and every single one is a winner. But let me tell you why I chose the specific gift that I did, because there's the reason that matters more than the gift itself. So after working with thousands of clients, I've learned that the number one thing separating people who succeed from those who don't is not talent, it's not intelligence, it is consistency. So what creates consistency? Having a strong why to keep you going. So my mission is to create 10,000 millionaires. And early on, I realized I can give people the best system in the world with the best AI tools, the best coaching, the best everything. And some will still quit before they get to the finish line. Not because the system failed, but because they lost the reason they wanted to do this in the first place. So I asked myself, what if I could give every client who joins us a physical, tangible taste of the life they're building? Not a screenshot of someone else's results, but an actual experience that puts them in that life. So it stops being abstract and it starts being real. That's the golden ticket. So if you're fast enough to get one of the 97 spots, you get a complimentary resort stay for 2 at any one of over 1,000 locations around the world. Hawaii, Paris, Bali, hundreds and hundreds of options. This is a real vacation stay that's yours. So we'll cover how it works in more detail shortly, as well as what your prize is if you don't join us today, because you get one too. And here's why this gift matters so much. Sometimes the difference between giving up and staying consistent is remembering what it felt like to wake up in a beautiful resort surrounded by your family, knowing that is why you're doing this. So this is the opportunity of a lifetime, isn't it? If you're feeling excited right now, then I've got excellent news for you. You are exactly the person that I want to work with. So my goal is to create 10,000 millionaires. And I know firsthand that my own biggest breakthrough came when I worked with the right mentor, a mentor who left me with no choice but to succeed. So here's what I'm going to do for you today. This program on our website is $6,000. Thousands of people have paid us that. And with our new AI tools, it's soon going up to 10,000. But I'm not asking you for that today. And the reason why goes back to my 10,000 millionaire goal. So we will never hit that by pricing our system at what it's actually worth. We hit 10,000 millionaires by letting action takers like you in who want to make real change. So you've stayed until now. So I know you're serious. So I've reserved one of the 97 spots in your name. It is sitting there waiting for you to accept it. Now, before I tell you how to sign up, I have one more thing to make saying yes a no-brainer. So the mentorship, the training, the community, and the AI tools are usually 6 months access. Now, to help you become one of the 10,000 millionaires, I'm going to take your 6 months access. I'm going to cross it out. I'm going to double it and make it 12 months, meaning the real value of what you get is over $51,000. Now, as one of the fortunate 97, you're not going to invest anywhere close to that. Not 50,000, not 25,000, not 10,000, not 5,000. On this workshop only, you can accept your spot for a tiny investment of just $9.95. So I've already applied your discount. I've reserved your seat. All you have to do is accept it by clicking the button on the right inside of the chat, or if you prefer, opening up a new tab and going to oneorderway.com/now to lock in your seat and accept your spot. So your spot is reserved, but I can't hold it forever. Tap the button on the right now, or someone else will. So once you get to the order page, you're going to see a couple of options. First, you'll see the $9.95 button, and that's where you accept the seat we've reserved for you with everything that we just covered. So the program, the coaching, the community, AI tools, and your resort stay for 2. Now, remember how earlier I said if you're one of the first 30, you're eligible for something extra special? Well, here's what it is. If you're one of the first 30, I've already reserved a done-for-you website build in your name. That means my team of expert web designers will build version 1 of your virtual showroom for you, where you won't have to do a thing. So we've sold this as a standalone service in the past for roughly $3,000. But today, if you are one of the first 30 to lock this in, you can add this to your order for just $9.95. So that is a $2,000 discount from what we sold it for in the past. And when you combine that with the original $9.95 investment, your total comes to $19.90. And if you still see the $19.90 button on the page, that means one of the 30 spots is still available. So this is by far the most popular option, and it's the best value because you save $2,000 off the website build alone, plus the $5,000 you're already saving on the membership, for a total savings of $7,000 off the website pricing. So let me show you a few examples of what these done-for-you stores actually look like when we build them. So we have Premium Home Source, which sells kitchen appliances. Shop Indoor Golf sells golf simulators. eMassage Chair sells massage chairs. Strength Warehouse USA specializes in workout equipment. My Sauna World sells saunas. So there are thousands and thousands of these high-ticket products just like this, and we help you find the perfect one and build your showroom. So to be clear, we build version 1 and get you live. So here's exactly how the process works. First, you confirm your product using our golden stamp product approval, where our team of expert coaches helps you pick a winner. And then once your product is locked in, my team will reach out to you, get a few details, and then we build version 1 of your virtual showroom for you, done, polished, and ready for customers. Now look, this is totally optional. You can build version 1 of your store yourself. So our training shows you how to do so with AI. But if you want to launch with a professional, ready-to-go showroom from day number 1, then option number 2 for $19.90 is your shortcut. And I can only offer this to 30 people today because our expert web designers obviously only have so much capacity. So once those 30 spots are claimed, this option will disappear. So if you want to accept this store build that I've reserved in your name, do not wait. Click the button on the right in the chat or go to oneorway.com/now and lock in your spot. And remember, whether you choose the store build or not, both options come with a win your money back guarantee, which I'll be unveiling to you shortly, plus some incredible bonuses, which we'll get to in just a minute, that are going to make this even more of a no-brainer. So if you want to lock in one of those 97 spots and possibly be one of the lucky 30 to have my team build your website, then head to oneorderway.com/now or press the button on the right while spots are still available. And if you haven't locked one in yet, I have a feeling that that's about to change once you hear the details of the guarantee. So let me show you exactly what happens the moment you click the button and lock in your spot. So first, you're going to get a personal welcome video from me. So think of this as your day one briefing where I'll walk you through everything, and we'll also send you over your user agreement that locks in every single thing that we just discussed, and that is there to protect you. Then, and this is important, the very first thing we do is we have you book your one-on-one onboarding call with our team. So this isn't some generic group onboarding. This is a one-on-one session with a human from our team whose sole job is to make sure you're all set up to win from day number one. And here's what most people don't expect. Within a minute or two of completing that, you're already inside of your private dashboard. Your step-by-step roadmap is right there. Your AI tools are loaded and ready, and your first action item is staring you in the face, and you know exactly where to start before you even go to bed tonight. So to review, here's everything you get today. And remember, the values I say are not what these have been sold for, but what comparable market offerings are usually sold for on the market. So first, you get access to our high-ticket e-commerce program, where we give you a clear roadmap to get your store live as fast as possible. So people pay mid-four figures for e-commerce programs that don't even have a fraction of the real-world results that ours does. And this is just the starting point of what you're getting here today. Second, you get access to the Inner Circle mentorship, where you get direct guidance from expert entrepreneurs. So mentorships like this run well over $1,000 a month anywhere else, and you're getting a full 12 months included. So that is over $12,000 in mentorship value alone, baked right into your membership. Third, you get the high ticket roundtable community. So if you've ever had a question at 10 p.m. and had no one to ask, that is over. This is a community of serious entrepreneurs, people who are in the same model, facing the same challenges, having the same wins. They're active every day. So if you post a question, you will get answers from real people who are exactly where you are. And masterminds like this routinely command $5,000 plus a year alone. Fourth, you get our golden stamp product approval. So this is the one where most people don't even realize how much of a game changer it is until they've used it. So here's what it is. Before you commit to any product, our expert coaches will personally review your selection and tell you, yes, this is a winner, or no, pivot to this instead. So think about what that means. Instead of weeks guessing whether your product will sell, you get a green light from people who have helped clients generate $50 million in results. And don't forget the most important one, number 5, where you get an entire suite of our AI agents trained on my brain to help complete tasks in your business for you, so you can stop guessing and start with what already works. So similar AI tool suites in the e-commerce space sell for $2,000 a month or more. You get full access for 12 months, and that is up to $24,000 in value included in your membership. And there's the bonus that honestly makes people's jaws drop. Every single person who claims one of the 97 spots gets a free resort stay for 2 at any one of 1,000 plus locations globally. So picture this for a second. A few months from now, you're sitting poolside at a resort with your family or your best friend or whoever matters to you most. Your phone buzzes, and it's a Shopify notification. A sale just came in while you were sipping something cold watching the sunset. And you think to yourself, this is what I said yes to. This is what the decision gave me. So when you add all this up, the program, mentorship, community, product approval, AI tools, resort stay, you're looking at well over $50,000 in real tangible value based on what these things sell for separately in the market. Now, obviously, if we charge $50,000 for this, we'd never hit our mission because we'd price too many people out. And our mission is everything to us. It's the reason why I'm on this workshop with you right now. So instead, we rolled this all up into a single membership for 97 people today only. And those 97 can get in for a tiny investment, just $9.95. Now listen, I know some of you are thinking, Brooke, I want in, but I don't have the funds in my account right now. Good. I'm glad you're thinking that, because we've already solved your problem for you. Yes, you heard me correctly. So we've partnered with a number of the top financing platforms in the world where they will cover your investment for you today and let you spread it out from 6 all the way up to 36 months with very little or sometimes even 0% interest. So while we can't make any guarantees, if you do your part and if you put the work in and you end up seeing results, it's potentially possible where you can cover some of these investment installments with profit from your business. So accessing financing is very simple. When you click either the $9.95 or the $19.90 button, you'll see a number of options on the order page. So if you want to pay with a card, simply go to the card box, which is by far the easiest and simplest way to get started. If you want to opt for financing, there are numerous options like Sezzle, Afterpay, Zip, though the most popular option, it's the easiest to get approved with, is called Split It, which has a 100% approval rate if you have the credit limit available, and it lets you spread your investment out over 12 months with no interest. So quick note before we go any farther, if you choose Split It, you may see a temporary hold on your card for the full amount. So this is not a real charge. This is temporary. Split It is just verifying that you have the actual full balance available. Once they confirm that, the pending charge will disappear within 2 to 3 days, and then only the first installment, which is 1/12 of the amount, will show up on your statement as an actual payment. So I just wanted to make that clear to get ahead so no one freaks out if they see a full amount as a pending charge using Split It, okay? Now, financing is available on both options, the $995 and the $1990, both, where my team builds your virtual showroom for you. Now, again, I know some of you are thinking, I believe this works, I've seen the math, I've seen the results, but I'm not sure I can swing it right now. And I get it. I've been there. I was $180,000 in law school debt when I made the decision that changed my life forever. I took $500 from my law school loan fund and I used it to start a business. A month later, I hit $30,000. The month after that, $147,000. The month after that, over $200,000. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to go from zero to $200,000 in 3 months. The vast majority of you will not. But even if you saw a tiny fraction of that, even just a couple $1,000s in revenue, that's more than the investment today. So let me ask you this. What is another year of the same paycheck or the same retirement check or the same stress, the same ceiling in your life? What's it actually costing you? You may never see an offer this good again. Imagine the pride and confidence you'll feel owning a real asset, a real business that you built, that you own, that nobody can take from you. And you can take step number 1 towards making that a reality by pressing the button on the right-hand side of your screen or going to oneorderway.com/now. Now, I definitely do not want you to miss out on one of the 97 spots because of a tech issue with your payment. If you're having any issues, here's what I want you to do. First, check the 3-digit CVV code on the back of your card and make sure you're entering it correctly. If it's still not working, call the number on the back of your card. Sometimes when you don't make purchases often online, an amount like $9.95 can trigger a temporary hold. Just make a quick call to your bank, let them know it's actually you, and they'll release it. If that still doesn't work, you can try a second card if you have one. And if you've tried everything and you can't get it to go through, or if you want to use an alternative method like pay with crypto or split the investment with someone or put it on 2 different cards, I'm going to drop a link in the chat where you can speak with someone on my team to help you process your enrollment. Now, I want to be clear. This is not a consulting call for questions. This is simply to help you complete your investment. And remember, there are only 97 spots today. So if you book a slot in my team, we're going to check when you booked. If you booked before the 97 spots fill, we'll make an exception for you. If it's after, then we're going to cancel the call. So if you're having any trouble right now, book in right now by pressing the link in the chat before the spots are gone. And remember, each of the 97 advanced access members gets a win your money back guarantee, which we'll cover in a minute, and a free resort stay for 2 as their golden ticket prize. So you can taste the life that you're building towards and remember your reason why. And for everyone else who doesn't join us today as one of the 97, you get your golden ticket prize as well, which will tell you how to activate very shortly, which you do not want to miss. And in just a few minutes, we'll also be covering how you can get the entire offer today for free with our win your money back guarantee. Now, the reason I'm doing everything I can to get you started is simple. It's because my mission means everything to me and to this company. And that mission is to create 10,000 millionaires. And every single person I've shown you on this workshop, like Ryan, who's our top client ever, he went from beginner to breaking $2 million revenue in a month and under a year. Bryn's made millions. Kristen hit $20,000 in a month. You can do this on the side like Chelsea did. She's a mother of 5. She sold an item for $2,000. You retired like Rodney. Rodney saw amazing results as well. So this can be a side income that you can build your life around as well. So all these people here had one thing in common. They made the decision. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait until they felt ready. They didn't wait until every question was answered. They made the investment in themselves, and then they figured it out step by step with our system, our coaches, and our community supporting them every inch of the way. So I've given you everything I can. An incredible deal, a $5,000 discount, financing options you can start for as little as $0 down today, the ability to split your payment, a resort stay for 2 so you can taste the life you're building towards, a guarantee where you can actually get this entire thing for free by meeting some basic criteria, and some incredible bonuses, which we'll get to in just a minute. The only thing I can't give you is the decision. That part's yours.